Alexandria Park Tiny Home Village in Los Angeles is a development of 103 micro-units that serve as temporary homeless shelters. They offer people and families a safe and dignified place to live before transitioning to permanent housing. The modular units are designed by Pallet Shelter, a social purpose company based in Seattle. They measure 8 feet by 8 feet and are composed of a simple steel frame and lightweight insulated panels of varying thicknesses. These components can be flat-packed for easy storage and transportation. 30 shelters can fit on a single truck. The parts are durable, lightweight, portable, customizable, and easy to assemble. They don't require a foundation because they have an inbuilt substructure. They can be assembled in under 1 hour with minimal tools since the parts lock together with nuts, bolts, and pins. The units can withstand winds of up to 110 miles per hour, snow loads of up to 25 pounds per square foot, and temperatures as low as -40 degrees Fahrenheit. These units can be connected to the city's power grid, a generator, or solar panels. The interiors are utilitarian but purposeful. They can sleep 2 people and hold their belongings under the bed and on a shelving unit. Each unit has a smoke detector, carbon monoxide monitor, egress door, and a fire extinguisher. These temporary shelters can be quickly deployed to a site in case of emergencies. Most people and families live in these units for 3 months before moving on to permanent housing. The units are easy to clean and maintain. They can be set up on any flat land, including leftover spaces next to highways. More importantly, they have 24-hour on-site security, shared bathrooms, dining areas, laundry services, counseling, housing placement, job training, and mental health services. I find it very impressive that Pallet Shelter, the company that designed these units, asked the homeless for their input during the design process. Moreover, all employees who built these shelters are formerly homeless, addicted, or incarcerated themselves and have found stability through meaningful employment. The flat-pack nature of these units is very important because the more you can transport on a single journey, the lower your costs are going to be. One of the many hurdles of using shipping containers as emergency or temporary housing is their size and weight. These units remind me of the bare-bones utilitarian emergency hospitals that popped up in China last year. Hope of the Valley, one of the organizations behind this project, regularly receives criticism about their efforts to help the homeless. To help the community fully support and understand these projects, they offered a tiny home sleepover experience back in April. You could stay at the site overnight, enjoy a dinner, live music, comedian, and breakfast. One of their sleepovers was catered to business owners and community leaders, while the other sleepover was designed for couples and partners, what they called the ultimate date night. It's an interesting approach to community engagement. While I appreciate all the work that they do, there are some drawbacks in this project. The gaudy, childish colors are a questionable design decision. I'm sure the architects chose to do that. When a person is in such a tough, challenging situation in life, the last thing they want is for their shelter to stand out and attract attention. They want to fit in, but these colors do just the opposite. Humans also need a sense of ownership, a feeling that something is theirs. It might be beneficial for them to work on their housing unit, build it themselves, or engage in community projects, even if it's for a short period of time. Additionally, this project is lacking vertical density, which in turn increases the cost per unit dramatically. If you are paying to run utilities to a particular site, like water, electricity, sewer, etc., the more units you can comfortably fit on the site, the more people you house, and the more cost-efficient your project is going to be. Hope of the Valley claims that, unlike traditional shelter or affordable housing projects, tiny homes take a fraction of the time to build and assemble and are just a fraction of the cost. The Alexandria Park Tiny Home Complex cost $8.6 million to build. At 103 units with 2 beds per unit, that's about $42,000 per bed. The cost to operate the campsite is $3,300 per person per month. These tiny homes cost more than the monthly mortgage payment for a median-sized LA home. What's going on? The units themselves are relatively cheap. LA is paying Pallet Shelter about $8,600 per unit. Land acquisition is only about 11% of the budget. Initial site work cost $1.5 million. Underground utilities cost $122,000. Concrete foundations cost $253,000. The office and staff rooms cost $312,000. Mechanical, electrical, and fire alarms cost $1.1 million. Permits, fees, designs, project management, and inspections cost $626,000. The rest goes to soft costs, including consultants and financing.
There you go.
The overspending on this project is not an isolated case. In Los Angeles, voters approved a $1.2 billion bond in 2016 for building housing for the homeless. Proposition HHH was supposed to have moved 10,000 homeless people off the streets and into new housing. Delays and bloated budgets have reduced the 10,000 person goal down to 7,300 persons. According to Mayor Eric Garcetti's website, only 14 of the 111 total projects are in service. 804 out of 7,300 people have been housed. The average cost of homeless shelters in California is now $700 per square foot, as much as luxury housing. Something is terribly wrong. I'm not being heartless by critiquing the situation. We should help people that have fallen on hard times and assist them in taking care of themselves. But as tax-paying citizens, we have a right to be concerned about the misuse of tax dollars. These bloated projects are supported by local, state, and federal funding. If funds are being misused, we can't just dismiss public outrage, and we can't be afraid to raise questions. Frustrated Californians believe that the local and state government must be held responsible for their failure to complete projects on time and within a reasonable budget. Props to Pallet Shelter for creating these sturdy, reliable $8,600 units, and for all the community work they do. They are really making a difference and not just talking about it. Homelessness is an extremely complex problem that obviously can't be solved by just throwing money at it, as we've seen. Let me know what you think about this growing issue. If you have any additional information on Proposition HHH, leave me a comment below. I'll link all my sources in the description as well as my Patreon page. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. See ya.